we explain what the Paralympic Games are, their origin, categories and characteristics. Also, differences with the Olympic Games. The Paralympic Games are the world's largest international competition for athletes with disabilities. Like the regular Olympic Games, the Paralympic Games take place every 4 years in a different city in the world and bring together sports delegations of different nationalities to compete in various disciplines over a couple of weeks. These international competitions are organized by the International Paralympic Committee (IPC), a body based in Bonn, Germany, and which cooperates closely with the International Olympic Committee (IOC). The details of the ceremony, the execution of the games and other important details are included in the Paralympic Charter. For their part, Paralympic athletes are sports professionals grouped into 10 categories according to their specific disability, called disability layers. Muscle power layer. It refers to different levels of muscle weakness or slowness, either in the entire body or in part, such as polio, spina bifida, or spinal cord injuries. Passive range of motion layer. It refers to congenital conditions of systematically reduced movement in one or more body joints. Layer of loss or deficiency of a limb. It refers to the lack or dysfunction of a body extremity, as in the case of amputations and malformations. Short cape. Refers to high deficiency due to musculoskeletal deficit, dwarfism or other similar conditions. Hypertonia layer. It refers to the abnormal tension of the body's muscles, which prevents their natural relaxation, as a consequence of congenital conditions such as cerebral palsy. Ataxia layer. It refers to the loss of muscle coordination in cases of cerebral palsy, Friedreich's ataxia and other similar conditions. Halitosis layer. It refers to conditions of loss of body balance, involuntary muscle movements and problems maintaining a symmetrical posture, a consequence of conditions such as cerebral palsy or chorioactosis. Visual handicap layer. It refers to the total or partial loss of vision, so athletes in this category compete together with specialized guides. Layer of intellectual disadvantage. It refers to conditions of high or severe cognitive or intellectual disability. Like the regular Olympics, the Paralympic Games reward their most outstanding athletes with gold, silver and bronze medals, and organize them according to a complex classification system that takes into account the degree of disability and the effort exerted. In general, the Paralympic Games are characterized by the following. They are comparable to the Olympic Games, but dedicated to athletes with various types of disabilities. They receive gold, silver and bronze medals depending on their sporting performance. They cover a total of 25 sports disciplines, which vary depending on whether it is summer or winter. These disciplines are specifically designed to be practiced by athletes with disabilities, which is why they often involve wheelchairs, guides for guests, and other necessary elements. Athletes compete or are classified into 10 categories, depending on the type of disability they present. They are organized by the International Paralympic Committee, based in Bonn, Germany. Their symbol is a logo based on the T-Gooks, a traditional Korean emblem similar to the one that appears on their flag, which combined the colors red, blue and green. Later, this logo was stylized and in 2003 its current image was approved. They are celebrated every 4 years in a different city. At the beginning of each edition, the Paralympic anthem Hymn of the Future, composed by Thierry Darnaz and approved by the International Paralympic Committee in 1996, is played. Origin of the Paralympic Games. The Paralympic Games are heirs of initiatives born in the mid-20th century and that sought to promote sport for people with disabilities, such as the International Sports Organization of the Disabled, founded in 1964. This organization sought to become an equivalent of the IOC that organizes the International Olympic Games. Thus, in 1982 the International Coordination Committee for Sports for the Disabled (CIC) was established. Thanks to the cooperation between these two organizations, the first Paralympic Olympics were held in Seoul in 1988. The success of this initiative was such that in 1989 the International Paralympic Committee (ICC) was founded. From then on, the Paralympic Games gained greater popularity and international diffusion, and new agreements were reached with the IOC to share facilities and be managed jointly. For this reason, the Paralympic Games share a year with the traditional Olympics. In this way, the size and diversity of the Paralympic Games increased, going from the 400 athletes from 23 countries competing in 8 sports that the competitions had in 1960, to the more than 4,200 athletes from 164 countries who currently compete in more from 20 different sports. Modalities of the Paralympic Games. The Paralympic Games have two modalities or editions, just like the regular Olympics, a summer edition and a winter edition. Depending on which one it is, some sports or others are practiced. The Summer Paralympic Games feature athletics, badminton, wheelchair basketball, bocce, cycling, wheelchair fencing, 5-a-side football, goalball, weightlifting, horse riding, judo, swimming, taekwondo, rowing, canoeing, rugby wheelchair, table tennis, wheelchair tennis, archery, Olympic shooting, triathlon and sitting volleyball. The Paralympic Winter Games feature biathlon, wheelchair curling, alpine skiing, Nordic skiing, ice hockey and snowboarding.